Hey, Dan Passarelli here. I was having a conversation with John and Bobby about slow stochastics kind of kept coming up. And so I kind of had it on the brain and also had it on the chart. And I was looking at what to talk about in today's video. And man, I came across some really interesting things. And it just makes me wonder, are slow stochastics really just kind of predicting everything lately? Well, there's two things that we do with slow stochastics. One is we look for crossovers above the 80 line or below the 20 line. And the other thing is we look at divergences. A divergence is when, as you can see here, the market made a low and stochastics makes a low. And here the market makes a lower low, but stochastics makes a higher low. And when we see that, we always go with the indicator when it comes to divergences. And so what that means is that we would expect a movement to the upside, which indeed we got. And here we had a high, both on the chart and on the stochastics. But here we had a lower high on the chart, but a higher high on stochastics, which would also indicate moving higher, which we did. Now, usually these moves only last a few days, in my observation. But the other thing is we look at crossovers, specifically the fast line, which you can see as the red line, it just moves more, through the slow line. But the crossovers have to happen either below the 20 or above the 80, these blue horizontal lines. And here we see the fast line cross above the slow line, just below the 80 line. And what does that do? It gives us a little bit of follow through here to the upside. Here we see a very good, solid fast line crossing below the slow line, above the 80 line. And yes, we get a couple of days down follow through. So that brings us to now. Like talking about the past with this stuff, it's okay, but we care about what might come next. And we see the fast line just really about to cross through the slow line, especially after today being a down day. If we open lower tomorrow, I think we're going to get that fast line crossing below the slow line, above the 80 line, which means we could expect a couple of days follow through to the downside. Now, this doesn't, in my experience, this doesn't really predict a lot of long-term trends or anything like that. Now, looking at the daily candles, usually these are short, smaller moves. And so that is what I am going to be watching tomorrow and trading off tomorrow. And I hope that is useful, valuable information to you. This is Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart.